everyone, and welcome back. Uh, we've been off for a very long time now. I think it's been what, 2.5, 3 months?
A few months,
Yeah,
yes.
it's been a while now, and we're back into lockdown again. So we thought, you know what, let's get back and say hi to everyone.
Hope you
We've
all are
been,
safe.
yeah, hope you all are safe. We've been up to a lot of things actually. We've been busy. We've had guests who would come down over here to our plantation stay.
We had
These are
the house
all,
painting going on
yeah,
too.
these are all people we've taken. These are people who we know personally, who've been a regular guest, and we trust them. And all of them got their, negative certificates and stuff like that. So yes, we did take a few guests during that time. But once the lockdown did happen, everything's back down to stay at home, nobody move anywhere kind of thing. We thought we'd just show you a few pictures of the things we've taken, we've
What we've
gone
been up
out,
to,
and
where we went, and how
a,
we spent these
a few
months.
pictures of the waterfalls and places we trekked to, and
The food we cooked.
yeah, and
We've been
the house.
experimenting on some desserts
Yeah,
and
we had a little bit of work
recipes.
on the house that we had to do, so that was
Some
getting
house
done.
painting work was going on,
Yeah,
so
so
all that.
after all that, we're back to lulling out a little bit.
And the
And
weather is perfect for that.
oh yeah,
It's
it's
raining
raining
here.
right now. I'll show you a little bit of the rain. So there's a cyclone in effect right now, and it's hitting Gujarat, and we're seeing the effects of that here also. Um, so yeah,
So that is about us. I hope you all are keeping yourself occupied at home.
so today the idea of coming back is well, yesterday I was just watching a movie. Uh, what was it called? Till Tomorrow.
I don't watch as many movies as
Yeah,
you
I
went
don't
for
remember the
reading.
movie's name, but I was watching this movie about bullying. If tomorrow comes or something like that, end of today or something like that. If today ends, when today ends. Yeah,
We
it's
can
called.
put it down here.
Yeah, I'll put the link, or I'll put the name of the movie down here. It's an English movie, so it kind of connected to, or should I say, it triggered things in my past that I've gone through myself as far as bullying is concerned in school, in college, and stuff like that. So I was able to relate to a lot of things that happened um, in that movie. How you feel completely and totally helpless at certain points in time, where you think the world is completely against you, and the nothing really goes your way. You land up in a situation that is so far gone from normal life that nobody can really relate to what you're going through. It's not something that I can explain to you what goes on inside. It's a feeling of you've reached the end of the road, or you've reached the end of flat earth, and you're going to fall off the edge of it. That's where you land up, and you feel like there is no coming back from there. And that's not a very nice space. And it's something that a lot of children go through, a lot of adults also go through. Yeah. In your workplace, it could be uh, within the family. These are spaces that cannot really be explained, and the only way to move forward from here is um, support, and emotional support. And if not emotional support for the people who are getting bullied, I'll tell you what, I was very lucky to have somebody like her who got me out of that space of feeling worthless. But there are a lot of us who land up in a situation without having that one person, having that support system. Um, all I can tell you is that um, there is no there is no need to search for somebody. All you need to do is realize that it's you, and realize that you are important. The unfortunate situation is that all of us are looking outside for approval. We're all looking outside for, to tell, for somebody to tell us that we're good enough. We're always doing things so that somebody tells us we're good
We're
enough, or if
appreciated.
we feel like we are part, we are accepted in society.
Trying to belong somewhere. All the time we're trying to belong somewhere.
Yeah.
We hope people get us, people understand us, and most sometimes it doesn't work that
See,
way.
you look at it throughout the world. If you look at it, we're all community based. You could be religious community based. You could be community of an apartment, friends, a particular belief system, anything. You want to believe in it, and you want to be part of the community. You want to be part of something that you belong to, and which is why sometimes what we do is we force ourselves to do things
That we
that,
normally wouldn't do,
yeah, exactly,
just to
just to
belong.
belong, just to belong,
I
we would try to do
actually,
that.
if you look back to our history, this sense of community gives us a sense of safety and
Yeah.
security, because earlier you could be attacked by animals. So the more number of people you had in your pack meant
Exactly,
safety for you.
exactly.
But today that isn't the case.
Yeah, so the idea behind it is that don't try and change your belief systems, don't try and change who you are just to fit into something else. And I've done that so many times
I
in my
think all
life.
of us do
I
that
think,
at
yeah,
some point or the
so
other.
many of us do that. And when we start belonging to that community, that group, that belief system, we fight tooth and nail to belong there, to stand in front and fight for something. Even if we don't believe in it, we still stand and fight for it. And that's not something that's very healthy, community wise or for your own well-being, because at the end of the day you have to realize your system is such that it's rebelling against you, it's rebelling against something that you don't believe in, and you will start feeling um, sick, uncomfortable. um, your body is going to start giving up as you keep doing things like that. A lot of people go through anxiety through a lot of these, because of a lot of these kind of situations. Because if you look at an anxiety case, somebody with anxiety, you will find people who have eating disorders. You will find people who either eat too much or eat too little. That's also part of somebody who has an anxiety issue, and we don't identify these things. You will find people who are overly friendly, somebody who will talk and can't stop. I am one of the examples. And you'll try to please people a lot. You'll try to say sorry a lot for something you haven't even done. And you'll be wondering, why did I say sorry? But that's an automated response for somebody with anxiety. And you'll find a lot of people,
Constantly
um,
distracting themselves
yeah,
from
you
what's
will,
going on
yeah,
with your phones and
exactly. You will,
Netflix series. And
you will try and completely distract yourself with anything. If you have the phone in your hand, you will try and isolate yourself. You will try and keep away from people. All of these are signs of anxiety, signs of people going into a space of depression. And that's not a very healthy space, because you need to get out of it. You need to realize that you're doing that as a first step and take your first step to get out of it. Do anything that will keep you uh, um, occupied with yourself, to identify yourself, to have a better self image. Try and do things that will give you a small sense of accomplishment. Don't do things that others are doing just because others are doing it. Just do
or to
something that,
show someone
yeah,
else.
don't do those things. Just go ahead and do something that you think you can do, achieve it, feel a little good about yourself, and keep doing it, doing things that will help you, uh, give you a sense of achievement. That is a first step to get out of the state of anxiety. You start talking to people a little more frequently. You start being a little more social, um, connect with people. I know people can be extremely mean when they're out there. And these people who are mean are also going through the same kind of situation. It's just that you're on another end of the spectrum and they are on the other end of the spectrum. They feel like they need to exert and be, and show themselves out there to realize
Establish
that they exist.
authority,
Yeah,
and
all
that
of
makes
that.
them feel that they are alive and they exist.
Yeah, so it's, I think there are a lot of people who um, try doing a lot of different things. Like being mean is one of those things, because they want to show that they are in control. they exist in this world, and you never know what's going on in the background. It could be a family issue, it could be a relationship issue, it could be something that is they're feeling
It's just
completely
a
insecure
lack of
about.
self-worth.
Yeah. So you will realize that people tend to put others down just to feel better about themselves, showing themselves that they are better than that other person there, because they are able to put that up. And most of the time, the other person out there will be a little more submissive, a person who's a little weaker, so to speak. Weaker in the sense, not to say that you're
Somebody who
weak
will
or
not
something like.
raise their
Yeah,
voice.
somebody who likes to keep the peace. Let's put it that way.
The
Let's.
peacemakers in the
Yeah,
family.
it doesn't necessarily have to be a family. It can be a friend
Outside
group.
as well. Yeah.
It could be a school, whatever it is, where you do not that person doesn't retaliate. Um, so bullying is where it
I
all
think
starts. I think in the group.
once you learn that okay, this is what's going on with the other person, you stop taking these things personally. You know, okay, this is where it's coming from. It has nothing to do with me. The meanness that I'm being shown has nothing to do with me.
Yeah,
Because otherwise, we internalize all this and think there's something wrong with us.
exactly. There's actually nothing wrong with us. I mean, we all have our issues, no doubt,
All of
every one
us
of
do.
us. But that doesn't make you know, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's something wrong with you.
We all make mistakes. We've
We all
all,
do.
you know, said things that we wouldn't have said. In certain circumstances, we would have spoken about something, and then we would have wondered, "Oh my
We've all
God,
done
what
it.
did I?
See,
Why did I say
we've
that?"
all done this whole getting together and gossiping
Gossiping
about
about
somebody
people.
who's not in the group, and uh, you know, it's all part and parcel of us wanting to feel important, us wanting to feel that we belong in a
Belong.
community or in a group of friends or whatever it is, and it's very difficult to let go of that. When you're part of something, you will tend to identify certain things that the group likes to laugh about, and when you are the center of attention, when people laugh at your jokes or people are accepting of you, you tend to define yourself within that boundary, and you keep doing that the same thing over and over again. And talking about somebody behind their back, or like they say, bitching about somebody, isn't a very healthy trait, because at the end of the day, you don't feel
You
good
don't
about
feel good
doing it.
about it. Yeah.
You might feel like at that moment you might feel like you're laughing and everybody is happy with you, but internally you will feel dirty. You will feel a little sick about what you're
So
doing, and
ultimately, it's not about the other person. It is about how you
you're
feel.
you'll generally be harming yourself when you're doing that.
Yeah, but if you've done that, that's also
It's
fine.
perfectly fine.
Everything is
We've
okay
all
as
done
long
it.
as you know, okay, I don't want to do that. And you're doing everything for yourself.
Yeah. So there is. It's always understand whatever you're doing. There's a positive intention to it. Your intent is to make you feel good, make you feel. One of us wants to feel good, wants to feel feel like they belong
So
somewhere.
every action we take has a positive intention behind
Yeah.
that.
So you just have to understand that it is um, very normal and very natural to do that, but identify that you're doing it and take your next step to change yourself, to identify what you want to do. Just keep in mind, what do I want in my life. It's not about the things I don't want, the things I'm running away from. It's about the things you're going towards. It's always what you're looking forward to. It's not what you're running away from. Whenever we look back and say, "Oh, I'm running away from it. I'm looking back on my shoulders," it will catch up with you. Always look forward to what you want to go towards. So,
And engage in activities that will take you towards that.
yeah,
For example, if you want to feel happy, don't listen to sad songs.
exactly.
Don't listen to those songs which will make you think about your
Your
ex-boyfriend.
old triggers. Your old triggers. Don't go
Yeah.
back to those old triggers.
Yeah.
And when I'm saying don't go back to those old triggers, the first thing that is probably hitting your mind is your old triggers. All those things that you remember. So
These things actually, all these things that you expose yourself to, will have an impact on your physiology.
yeah,
Your body chemistry changes as you listen to these songs and make yourself sad. So why would you want to bring your past in your present?
you don't need to. So all you need to do is look towards your future. Look
Yeah.
at identify what you want in your life, and take steps today to go towards that. Don't look at the people around you to define who you are or define your actions or who you have to be. It's all about what every one of us is unique that way because we have certain gifts, certain abilities, certain skills that we have that no one else around us has. They might have a certain skill that you might have also, but they won't be able to do it as well as you can. So just hone those skills. Just focus on what you are good at doing. You don't need to have people around you who are mean to you. And we always, always, always try to please the people who are most mean to you, right? We throughout our lives we've done it.
I
If
think that a typical example would be in your family. You wouldn't care about the mother most of the time. The mothers are usually taken for granted, and you're not trying to please her at all. But you're trying to please a little more authoritative
it
person in the
doesn't have to
family.
be the
It's
mother.
usually the
It
father,
doesn't have to be the mother. Yeah, it can be the mom or dad or
the
brother
person who's
or whoever it is.
authoritative.
Yeah, whoever it is.
That's the person we try to please.
Yeah. So they also coming from the authoritative figures over there also are coming from a particular space in life where they have gone through certain things in their life also and how they have um, been able to hold their ground is through this authoritative space of theirs.
So
And
there is
when
a
they,
positive intention there
yeah,
as
there's a
well.
positive intention there. So when they are able to hold their space within that, when they are being authoritative and people listen to them, they're scared of them, they hold on to that. And that becomes the identity after some time. They aren't able to identify themselves outside of the authoritative figure. They have to be that. And that's quite intimidating for a lot of us when we meet those people. But you have to understand that these people also have certain things that they've gone through in their life, which is why they're like this. And they
Ultimately, we're
also,
all people.
yeah, and inside them, they're soft. All of us are
Yeah.
soft. It's just that we put up a face, we put up a facade out there so that the world around sees a particular image that you
So
want to
that
see,
they're
and
safe.
they are, yeah. The idea of all of this is to be safe. And some of us aren't able to put up that facade, and we tend to get taken advantage of, so to speak. It's not about getting taken advantage of. It's easy for uh, people of authority to dictate terms to us because they feel good when they are able to um, have a space where people are submissive around them. You need to find people, find environments that are nurturing to your nature, so to speak, right? That's how you are. Your nature is like that, and don't try to change your nature to something else because that's going to be, again and again, I'm saying, harmful to your body, to yourself.
Yeah, when you don't
So,
feel congruent with that thing that you want to be, uh, want to put up, the face that you want to put up.
and the solution to it is not to give up. The solution to it is not to say, okay, this is it, I can't take it anymore, I'm going to give up on my life. A lot of people have done it, a lot of students are doing it today. The amount of pressure that is there in the school system itself is insane. It's not just education, it's the amount of pressure you get from your parents, the amount of pressure you get from your peers, the amount of pressure you get from the environment that asks you to be
And
and show a particular kind
sometimes
of.
it's not even that your parents are asking you to be something. They might be very supportive, but that very fact puts a lot of pressure on you
Exactly.
because you want to uh, prove that you're worth it.
Worth it,
Yeah.
exactly. And being number one is not a wow space. It is one a space that involves so much of stress because to hold on to that, to hold on and stick on to number one is unbelievable amount of pressure. And you should be able to, they say no, be a good sport. The idea of being a good sport is that it doesn't matter if you've been number one, you can be number 10, you can be number 100 after that. It shouldn't matter to you. It should just matter to you that you're doing what you like to do.
And
When
sometimes you don't even know what you would like to do.
exactly, most of the time we don't know what we like to do because we are constantly trying to be somebody that somebody else wants us to be, or the environment you are in is dictating that this particular thing is what you should be, and you try to be that. And my leg just went to sleep for some reason. So you try to be that particular person, and you tend to constantly keep failing at it.
It's
And
okay to take time.
it's okay to fail also. It's
You
perfectly
may
okay
be
to fail.
24, 30, 40, it's okay.
You can
Even
be
now, if
50.
you haven't done what the society expects you to do, it's still fine.
Just remember this one thing, okay? I know as you progress through age, as you become older and older, you tend to get wiser. You tend to understand certain things a little better. And it that kind of helps you grow within yourself, not try to please somebody else, not try to grow for the environment around you, but grow within yourself for yourself. And just remember Colonel Sanders, for example. Um, this man started KFC after he was 60. And this is something that he loved to do, frying chicken and giving it to his neighbors and stuff like that when he was young in his 20s. But somebody told him that, you have to do something with your life. And he tried everything possible, and he failed in every single thing. And when he was 60, he went back. He said, you know what? I've tried everything. It's nothing is working, so let me go back. And that was his biggest success. So it's perfectly fine. Don't listen to the world around you saying you're not good enough.
And if you are the world telling the people in your family or
Exactly.
your friends what to do and how they shouldn't be doing what they're doing, we would request you to stop, refrain
Just
from doing
just
that.
just identify that you're doing it. I know it's a very empowering space at that time to tell people what to do, to tell people that they're doing it wrong, you have to do it like this. And when people listen to you, wow, you feel all powerful and great. I know you do. I've done it too.
And as family, I think it takes a lot of patience and strength to be there for the other person when they're going through a phase like this. Say, for example, they don't know what to do with their life, or the career, they have no idea what to choose, or right now things are not looking great and they have no idea. For all you know, they're spending the entire day binge watching series or playing games or any such thing, and it takes a lot of patience to hold on and not push them. It's only natural for you to.
Don't just let them keep doing those things, because those are just distractions that they are trying to get away from something else. Now they need support in the form of somebody who will truly listen to them, not just for the sake of it, but truly sit down and listen to them and talk to them about it. There has to be a release somewhere, right? And the more people go into their shell, the less they are able to trust
Express.
somebody outside to release all this. Yes, exactly. uh, the release has to happen.
Yeah.
It's like a pressure cooker. If you do not have the exit valve, your this thing's going to explode one day, and that's what happens with most people who give up on their lives.
A lot of times they are labeled as lazy. Actually, they're
Exactly.
not lazy. It's just that they haven't found something that's interesting enough to wake up in the
They're
morning.
not. See, it's like this. Okay. To identify something that you love to do, you have to have the space. You have to have the environment that lets you explore to identify what you want. Now, when you are sitting throughout the day, or wherever you're going, worrying about what people are thinking, what people are doing, what am I doing with my life, all of that is eating up 99% of your brain. 99% of whatever is out there, it's occupied over there. You're just sitting and thinking only about that. You don't have space or time to think about what you really want to do. So this is where people just land up doing something they don't like to do, and over a period of time burn out. And the day they burn out, nobody even knows, nobody even realizes what has happened, because you would probably see them smiling and laughing and amazing social media posts saying the best life ever and stuff like that. But the truth is not there. The truth actually is something only they know. And the only way to for them to get out of that is to have a space where they can be themselves and trust the environment to accept them, not to try and belong to something that already exists, right? So that is the reason I'm talking about it, is because I have gone through it. I know what it feels like. I have been one of those people who, I know it's a horrendous shame to even admit that you were one of those people who wanted to give up on their lives. And trust me, I'll tell you what, 90% of you out there have gone through that also. And there is no shame in it. The shame is only from the external world. The whole idea of seeking help is something that is so shameful. I don't understand that idea of it being shameful at all. For a man to cry, oh my god, it's such a horrible thing for a man to cry. Who said that? We all have emotions and it has to be released. You have to use your emotions to free your body. You can't sit with those emotions. Those emotions turn toxic. You get angry. You have serial killers, and you have terrorists. You have all those people out there. Why? Because they have been trained to hold their emotions in and build up anger, hatred, all of this. This is what you see in today's world. You can see the amount of hatred that's spewing out there. For what? What does hate bring? Nothing. It brings absolutely nothing.
Only destruction.
Why? The whole idea of supporting somebody, and when I say support, I understand that financial support is something that nobody wants to do because it is difficult for everybody to survive in this world as it is, right? But having emotional support, having somebody you can talk to, but when the other person is talking, the other person also understand that there is somebody giving you the time to talk it out. So don't keep lulling over the same issue over there over and over again, because the idea of talking to somebody is to get out of that issue. Get out of that issue. Talk to them, feel free of that issue, and think about the next step. Think about what you want to do after that, not constantly falling into that same pit over and over again. I know it is a trap that we all are in,
Yeah, as
fall
our
into,
stories become so.
our identities, and
Yeah.
we tend to become the identity. We become that story. And for some reason, after some time, you can't um, think of another you without that identity. You become the victim and you keep talking about that thing that has happened to you over and over again to every single person you might meet. And that's not something that people like to hear. People love to hear happy stories. People love to hear something good, something happy, something funny, stuff like that, right?
So
So,
how do you change your story?
yeah, I you have gone through certain things in your life, and there are people who are not accepting you for who you are. Don't try again and again to be within that group. Identify a different group. Identify, if you're in a school that isn't accepting you, that you have bad friends around, move schools. But before you move schools, identify with yourself um, what is it that about you that's triggering them to do that to you, right? It's as simple as I'm extremely submissive, or I'm overly friendly, or I'm somebody who irritates people and stuff like that. So
Find out why are you extremely friendly? What is lacking within that's making you do these things?
there's
Uh,
nothing wrong with being friendly,
yeah,
but extremely friendly, what happens is that,
you'll do anything
yeah, you
to
tend to
please
be
the other person.
for a lot of people it's very overwhelming when you are extremely friendly. It's overwhelming for them to certain people just need their space, right? You just need to be left alone sometimes. And we need to identify that space. And when we try to do a lot for people, what you're trying to do isn't something they identify, right?
They don't recognize.
Yeah, they don't recognize what you're trying to do. But they just want to try and push you away, and you feel like I've done so much, but you know, I'm still getting pushed away. I'm still getting, what is wrong with me? That's the first thing that comes to us. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just being very nice and very friendly and very sweet with other people, but they don't want that right now. I don't know if you can understand it, but it took a long time for me to understand that too. Certain times you just need to let people be. And you just, the reason you're probably going and trying to please other people is because for you, your identity and your reason for life stays in the space that somebody acknowledges that you exist. Somebody out there is looking at you and saying, oh, he's such a nice person. So that is what keeps you going. But that is not what needs to keep you going. What needs to keep you going is you and what you want to do in your life. So forget about everyone, forget about what you need to do for people, and first step is to do for you. You take those steps that you're doing for others to do for you, right? And when you do that, you start realizing that the world around you suddenly starts to acknowledge you. They're acknowledging you for you doing things for yourself. And that is another trap again. At that time, you go back to, oh, people love me, and you go back then, and then
And then
the
you neglect
cycle
yourself
falls
again.
again. Cycle falls. I mean, it falls into the same cycle again. So just keep going after what you want. People will be there for you. You don't worry about that part of it. That is something that will automatically happen. You just have to keep doing what you want for yourself. Now I'm about 40, 42 years old, 43, 42. I'm 42 years old, and I can easily say about 25 to 30 years of my life, maybe more, I've been growing through this. Okay, it has taken a lot of effort to grow through this, and most of it has happened because in the last 14 years this woman came into my life, and that has really helped. The support, the help, the hand holding, the patience, all of that has helped in my growth to who I am today, for me, not for the rest of the world, but for me, who I feel I am for me. And I love who I am. And I'd say a lot of credit goes to her for that. I have done a lot of effort myself, but yes, without her, I don't know how far I would have reached
I
today.
think it's mutual. Even in my
Yeah.
case, I've grown a lot. Yeah. Now
So,
I can look at myself and feel a sense of respect for myself, of the person who I am today because of him. So, yeah, we've
so
been supporting each other all through.
yeah, we've always been very supportive of each other and our ideas and what we want to do. And it, a lot of times it's gone wrong. A lot of decisions we've taken have gone wrong, but the whole point is that you've taken the decision. The first step in whatever we're doing is to take a decision. And decisions are the most important, the most difficult, I'd say, thing to do in your life. Because somewhere down you've decided, we've all decided that and that was a decision, one of the most important decisions you've taken, that you are not good at deciding anything.
So he keeps telling me, don't sit on the fence.
Yeah,
Choose your side.
it doesn't matter if it goes wrong, but
Yeah.
choose a side. Choose a side. When I say choose a side, I don't mean on a religious front or anything. For your life, when you're taking a decision for your life on what you want to do and where you want to go, choose one of those two options to do. Don't sit on the fence, because the moment you sit on the fence and you're unsure of both sides, you get nowhere.
That applies to situations when you're crossing the road, when you're buying things. You know
Yes.
what will happen if you're not
Yes.
sure when you're crossing the road.
So that is all it's about. Just trust that you are worth it. First of all, you are beyond
And
worth it, because
everybody goes through these phases.
every single one of us.
Yeah.
And today, unfortunately, in the social media world, your um, world of connect is so much larger. Before, you used to have probably 10, 15 friends that you used to spend your time with or used to try and belong with. Today, when you're on social media, you might be alone, you might be a loner, but you have probably 1 million followers, 2 million followers, and 200,000 followers. You have so many people watching what you're doing, and that puts so much of pressure on what you want to portray out there. And from there itself, you have a lot of loneliness coming in, even though you have so many people around you. So don't try and put anything out there for the people out there. Put something out there because you want to put something out there for your sake, because that's your focus. What you're doing is your focus. You don't have to put anything online. You can just keep doing what you want to do. But if you want to make, say, videos your career or something you're interested in, do it. But don't look for feedback saying that you're doing a good thing, that what you did was great. Because the moment you see out of 100 comments, you see one comment that says you're an absolute idiot, and that's the one thing that sticks onto you. That's the only thing that sticks on you. Forget the 100 comments. You'll stick only into that, and that'll eat you up. We all have this thing called the negative bias. So we all love to identify with something negative in our lives. So to get over one negative thing, you probably have to compensate with 10 or 20 positive things. So not many of us have enough positives to counteract the negative. So which is why constantly saying, focus on what you want to do, focus on the positives of life, focus on how blessed you are because you are with you, not because somebody else is with you. Because you are with you, you're that blessed, you're that lucky. So just focus on that aspect, and as you keep going forward, you will realize that things start changing in your life. Things start changing for the better in your life, for you. So that's about it. That's all we wanted to talk about. I hope it's helped whoever out there, because this is something that was a topic that's very close to my heart, and I have been able to get out of it. It is a process. I wouldn't say it's difficult, but it's a process. You have to keep convincing yourself that you're worth it, first of all. And before I got her, I started doing that, and which is why I got her. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been in a space of being able to, um, you know,
Impressing.
yeah, impress her to say okay to being married to me, right? So I have to have been confident enough for me to get somebody like her. So you are your best friend, you are your first step. Nobody else is. But when you take your first step, the world will rally behind you. There will be somebody who comes and holds your hand, somebody who helps you take your steps forward. So just keep doing that. Yeah. So thank you very
So
much for
remember,
watching.
focus on what you want.
Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. And we'll see you again in our next video. Bye bye.